So when you're out photographing wildlife, chances are you're going to be working with some very big lenses, which, by the way, are also very heavy lenses. Now, you could try hand holding that lens, but when the lens weighs about 10 pounds, you're not going to last very long. Your arms are going to get pretty tired unless you're Popeye. So what I recommend is getting the right support for wildlife photography. The preferred tripod head for most wildlife photographers is known as a gimbal head. The gimbal style head is designed to fluidly pan around easily. It supports your camera completely, and when you have it set up on top of the head, basically the head is designed so that no matter where you point your camera, because the center of gravity is properly aligned, the camera doesn't move. So it makes it a lot easier to find your subject. You can walk away from your tripod and your camera's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to fall over. So it makes a great support, and it gives you all the support you need when you're photographing wildlife. Now, a lot of people do use a ball head when photographing wildlife. If you do, I recommend that you get something, first of all, that's very sturdy, that's built to carry the load of your camera and your lens, and also something that's got a leveling base and that is designed to pan, because it'll make your job a lot easier. So for example, this is a ball head made by a company called Unique Ball. And once I have the camera on top of the head, and I've got it tightly clamped in, first thing I do is I level the base. That way, when I'm panning around with a moving wildlife subject, the camera isn't going to go off axis. It's not going to tilt so that it ends up with the horizon crooked. So when you have a level base, you can basically pan around any position you're in. The horizon is always going to be straight. Another option that is very popular, if you don't want to have a tripod with you, or if you're in a location where a tripod's not really going to work, is to use a monopod, which basically is like a tripod, except it's only got one leg. Hence, it's called a monopod. And once I get the camera on top of the monopod, basically you just lean into the position that you want. If you have a ball head on top of the monopod, that gives you a little bit more flexibility in terms of selecting your position. And the monopod takes the weight off your arms and allows you to easily photograph wildlife. It's not as stable as a tripod, but it should give you the stability that you need. A final option, which is a very popular option if you're working from a vehicle such as a car or a boat, is to use a beanbag, which is quite literally, as you can see, filled with beans. So we'll just put the beans back into the stuff sack here. I've got it filled with 10 or 12 bags of beans that I bought from a grocery store. And what you do is, if let's say you're in your car and you roll down your window, you put this over the car door edge, and you use this as support for the camera. So the camera can go directly on the beanbag like so. And that gives you all the support you need when you're shooting from a vehicle. And it's perfect. So turns out beanbags aren't just great for college dorm rooms, they're also great for wildlife photography.